The other thing that snowball throwers do is they throw snowballs at you. You being the identified leader in the room. So you're trying to run your meeting, you're trying to run your classroom, you're trying to run your organization, you're trying to run your family, and they have the perfect sense of timing. So they'll just wait for the discussion to calm down. This is disturbing, isn't it, when you listen to this? And then they'll just wait for the moment of sabotage. Because what they want to do is they want to knock you off your game, they want to knock your topic out of the room, and they want to get the whole room to laugh and groan at the same time. So they'll go, okay, are you done? Are you done? Yep. And then they'll say, Nick, Mr. Jaden. They add the Mr., but is that respectful or is that disrespectful? It's totally just, even though they're using words that sound respectful, and you feel uncomfortable with me just doing that right now, right? And they say, well, Mr. Jaden, are you done? Good, because I just have one question for you. Whack! And everyone else in the room goes, seriously? It's like, I don't get paid enough to be in this kind of work environment. I don't get paid enough. That was so wrong. And then they watch it go, what's he going to do? How's he going to handle it? The most classic place we see snowball throwers is community meetings at wildland fires. So there's a wildland fire. There's a wildland fire going on. Let's say the Forest Service is running it. It's on right in Yellowstone Park, which is a beautiful national park that goes towards a national forest, that goes towards a little tiny town that has a Dairy Queen in it. And so they have these really neat community meetings, usually once a day when the fire is fairly close. And so they stand and they show maps and they say, with the front of their brain saying, this is what we're doing, this is how we're managing the fire, this is how we're managing smoke, this is how we're managing the population and all the rest. Da, 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 da. And it actually is incredibly good long-term for that little community, because if you can burn out that forest in a prescribed way, the large wildlife that are going to show up for the next 15 years is going to blow their minds, and the tourism is going to spike, because they're going to say, where are the buffalo in Yellowstone? And guess where they're going to be? Right where that fire was. So the Dairy Queen owner should be clicking his heels, because for the next 15 years, his Dairy Queen is going to be full, because people are going to be going, looking at the buffalo and the elk, and then they're going to go get their dilly bar. But he's a snowball thrower. So he's thinking short-term rather than long-term. So he waits for the whole meeting to end, and just before they close, he grabs that fire/ice ball, and he goes, picks the most vulnerable person that's wearing the uniform of the government, and says, I just have one question for you. And I'm the biologist. I'm not even managing this fire. But it's the question for you, because of course he's not going to pick on someone that can probably handle the snowball. And he goes, when are you going to, and then out comes the profanities. When are you going to bleep, 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 put this bleeping fire out? 5-year-olds could do a better job than you guys are doing. And the whole room of 250 goes, oh, that was ugly. Now, this is what you do. If it's during a meeting and it just got thrown at you, did anyone teach you how to catch a ball without a glove so it doesn't sting your hands? So you catch a ball like this. You go, here comes the snowball. You actually see it. You make eye contact with the person and say, I got it. And you grab the snowball and you couch it like this. And then you bring it back up and you hold it in your hand for the whole room to see. You give it a spin. What you're doing is you're buying yourself time. You might say, this sounds really important to you. And you look away because you need to gather your thoughts rather than pick up the thoughts of that person. You look away, but you hold your hand pointed this way. That way, the people still know you're in the zone. And you got the snowball in your other hand. And then you say, front of the brain, this is your moment to shine. I know that in the past I've been thrown off by this kind of stuff, but not today. And you also say the power of success is in team. So that question maybe is best answered by somebody else that's standing in the front with the uniform. So both of those thoughts are going on in your head, and you're buying yourself some time, and you're right there, and you go, you know what? I'm going to answer the first part of this question, and then I'm going to hand it off to our IC commander, incident commander, because they have the finger on the pulse as far as the actual strategy of the fire. So if the room could just settle down just for a minute, we'd love to answer this question. So as a biologist, the long-term benefit for this community is going to be measured by tourists. Because what's happening is we're doing a burn that naturally used to happen on the landscape, but it hasn't been happening. So we're very excited that we're getting this level of burn right now. What's going to happen is with the growth that's going to develop from this burn is going to bring all the large animals right next door to your community. We have buffers in place, and we have all the resources we need to manage if it gets any closer. But that's not for me to answer, that's for the incident commander. So those of you that might be worried about your businesses right now because of the smoke, think long term. Think long term. This is going to work out for you. And then you take that snowball and say, would you like to answer just the plan for the next 3 days? Just reiterate for the rest of the room. Now what have you done? You shifted it from a one-on-one to let's just summarize again what our overall fire strategy is. And that person grabs it. They've now had time. You've already clued them to say, hey, by the way, I'm going to hand it over to you. That person grabs a snowball and says, this is what our plan is. We've got this and this and this. As you remember, we have the maps that we showed you. This was taking place. We have cooperation with state and with park, and the BLM is helping us also. So we're all together in team, working together. And then you just put the snowball down, and you're done. So that's how you deal with a snowball in the middle of a meeting. Some snowball throwers throw snowballs after the meeting. Have you noticed that? They're too chicken to actually be involved in the actual process. So they huck it hard when the meeting's closed. Now this is how you deal with that one. So ready? The snowball comes, and you go. And the meetings are, thank you very much. Have a safe drive, everybody. See you tomorrow at 7 when we have our next community meeting. Or see you tomorrow, or see you, have a good day at work. And then they go, blah, from the back of the room. You know what you do with that snowball? You turn your shoulder, let it hit the wall, and you walk off the stage. That's exactly what you do with it. You never, ever, 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 ever engage with a snowball thrower outside the parameter of structure. You'll sleep at night like a baby. And you'll be so proud of yourself and your team when they dodge that snowball. You really will. You just turn your shoulder, let that thing splat, and then you just walk away. And the snowball thrower's like, what? And say, see you all tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And you walk away. If they approach you on the parking lot, you phone the police. Really true. We've got to be dead serious with these folks because they have wired their brains in a way that it's hostile to team, hostile to success, hostile to our own personal safety. Can you feel it? Can you feel that? I know what I'm going to do next time. Yeah.